Steel Ball Run. I mean, you know, what can you say? It's JoJo.
I saw a funny post the other day. It was like someone comparing who's the biggest hater in anime, and it was Dio versus someone else. And I think it might have been Vegeta or someone. I don't know. People were like, "Bro, Dio literally bloodlines of generational hating." As well as dimensional hating. Yeah. The man is the biggest hater in the universe. And beyond that.
Yeah.
And also, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, what is Dio's like actual problem? Like why does he actually have a problem with Jonathan?
He's just a dick.
Yeah. Like I was watching, he was like, he takes him into his house and then he just hates Jonathan. And I was like, is this an accurate level of hating?
Literally, like 10 seconds after he meets Jonathan, he just socks him in the face.
Yeah.
For like no reason.
He's like envious of his position, so he hates him, but then it's like generational hatred.
But that's why
universal hatred.
But that's why I love Dio as a villain, because he's so like
makes no fucking sense.
No, that's the thing. It's almost refreshing to see just a villain hating for the sake of hating.
He's just a hater.
Like he's just a hater.
He's just a hater.
Yeah, there's no
fucking reason.
deep meaning or like childhood trauma or anything like that. He's just a hater.
Why did he kill the dog? I don't know. He just hated him. Why did he hate him? No real reason.
No real reason. He just wanted to fuck with
like
Jonathan.
He literally took
JoJo in a nutshell. Haters just gonna hate him.
Yeah, dude.
He brought him into his home, gave him a place to live. He's just hating.
Yeah, tried to murder his dad. Why?
Yeah.
Because.
Just an absolute hater. It's just impressive. Like the level of hating is. So how can you even compare him to another hater? Like even in Steel Ball Run, he shows up at the end to just hate. It's so impressive.
Do you think it's deserving of the second most rated manga of all time?
I'm biased. I'll say yeah.
I would definitely put it in top 10, I think. Like, you know, it's just like an insane... I mean, for one, up until this point in Araki's, like, you know, career, after part 6, like, everyone read part 6 and was like, in terms of, like, actual art, it's like, how do you get better than that? And then he was like, let me cook with part 7. Yeah. And there's just some panels in part 7 where it's like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
It's just beautiful to read and so succinct, and like, even though it's like batshit insane like JoJo always is, he just keeps stepping it up with some of the most insane powers and panels that you've ever seen, even in JoJo.
Yeah.
And, you know, let me say, like, you know, Jesus Christ, MVP.
The fact that Jesus Christ is a canonical JoJo character makes me very happy.
Yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. I love it. Dio turns into a dinosaur. Love it.
Yeah. It's like,
great.
Okay.
I can say that, and it probably won't be a spoiler because you have no fucking idea what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only one that hasn't read Steel Ball Run yet.
Yeah.
Because I've only been watching the anime of all of it, so I don't know how good the manga is.
So good, dude.
I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, it does surprise me that it's like number 2 top rated manga
I'm surprised.
of all time.
I mean, it is universally praised by JoJo fans and anyone who's read it. Is like,
again, I think the manga, the anime definitely pushed this up for sure, and you know, for good reason.
Yeah.
The
Do you agree
anime?
with this rating then, Joey?
I would agree. I'm not like upset.
So you think it's better than Vagabond?
Oh, I'm biased.
I'm putting you on the spot, Joey. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Look, I am an Inoue simp.
Is Vagabond finished?
No, it's on hiatus.
Yeah.
I'm an Inoue simp, and it's so fucking awesome to see 2 Inoue works in the top 10. You know, justified.
Bro,
he's amazing.
What are his 2 works?
He wrote Slam Dunk.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, same guy. So
he's
Vagabond,
also a goated manga as well.
Yeah, and Vagabond is like, it goes beyond manga. It is just art. It is a piece of art because like, if you thought like, you know, Berserk and like Steel Ball Run had some like amazing panels, Vagabond just goes an entirely new direction. Like you'll see some of the most beautiful manga panels ever drawn.
Yeah.
And like, the story is fantastic, and it's just one of those stories again that like doesn't need a lot of dialogue because he is so good at just telling a story through just like still images. And it's like, again, talking about unadaptable manga, like I could never see a Vagabond anime working.
I do find it funny though, because you know, it's stuff like Vagabond and Berserk that always gets put up on like everyone's top best manga of all time.
Yeah.
And I think the formula, for making
Is be on hiatus.
no. The formula for making highly acclaimed manga pieces that are viewed as a work of art is just make big burly man discovers violence is bad. Yeah. And then you realize, oh wait, are manga readers looking for a good story or are they looking for a father figure? I don't know.
Shit, man. Why'd you call me out like
that? because
I mean, I love my dad, but I also love Vagabond.
No, same here though, same here. I'm saying this shit out loud, but I'm like, yo, it hits every fucking time though. Every fucking time. Yeah. So Vagabond is very much a similar vibe to Berserk and Vinland Saga, where it's, at the beginning, it's Masashi Miyamoto, right? Who he goes on this journey of like becoming a really, really good, powerful samurai. And when he's younger, it's like his life story. When he's younger, all he really gives a shit about is just becoming stronger, becoming a more powerful samurai. And then the more life experiences he learns, the more he realizes that strength isn't all that's important in life, as with a lot of these other seinen shows. And, it's more about the way the story is presented. It's just like a masterclass of storytelling and character development, similar to something like Berserk and Vinland Saga.
It's impressive that there's 2 stories in the top 3 that can be in the top 3 without needing to end or have an ending.
Yeah. Well, how many of these have not ended? Berserk, Vagabond, One Piece.
Well, One Piece... Will it end? It probably will.
I mean, eventually.
Yeah, it'll end, but it hasn't ended yet. Vinland Saga hasn't ended yet.
It's like almost a very apparent
I'm going to guess Hunter x Hunter is in here as well.
To the other the anime list, because the anime list, you almost have to end for people to start talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. But with manga, sometimes you can get a vibe of the story and it can like...
The vibe is good enough.
You read Berserk and even as an incomplete story, it's still... really fucking powerful.
I mean, I'm a really believer in that sometimes the story doesn't need to be good or make sense or end as long as the vibes are there. Yeah. I think as long as the vibe of...
You should watch Slice of Life. That's
no.
I don't know, man. The vibes are pretty immaculate in that one.
Everything you just described is... You just described an
that's
entire
not the
genre.
vibe I like. I don't like that vibe.
Well, what's
like... It's like when people complained a lot about fucking... What was it? Like... Tenant. People were like, what the fuck is Tenant? I was like, I don't give a fuck what Tenant is. It's just fucking cool.
The vibes were sick.
The vibes are off the charts.
I don't think that was so much the vibe.
It was the vibe.
It was like the idea.
Which is part of the vibe.
Is it?
Vibe is like a feeling.
Yeah, the feeling of the idea.
You say that about anything.
You can say that about anything
though.
Everything is part of the vibe. Everything is part of the vibe.
No, I don't think everything is part of the vibe.
Yeah, of course it is.
That's like saying like, oh, when Luffy ate the devil fruit, vibe.
It's like going to a restaurant and being like, the interior decor didn't affect my meal at all.
Yeah, but what if like
that's just pretentious as shit.
But it does.
By your own argument, you could be like, well, the good story is part of the vibe.
Yeah, it is.
And I need a good story.
Yeah.
So what? But like,
but like, not everything needs to have a reason or make sense.
You're becoming way too like broad with this shit, man. Like,
but that's why I think Jojo is so good, because it's not about does the story make sense? Are the character motivations realistic? Are these characters? No, it's about the vibe.
No, but the fact that especially in Steel Ball Run, there are motivations, there are reasonings to why certain characters are doing.
Well,
things.
I mean.
Adds to the vibe.
What I'm trying to say is your argument makes no sense, because vibe.
No, it does make sense.
Vibe could be attributed to anything, but also be attributed to nothing.
Yeah, that's
you
what
can
vibe
pick and
is.
choose.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose.
Exactly.
That is not what vibe is.
Yes, it is. That is exactly what vibe is.
You're posing a discussion that has no answer.
No, but that's what I think is so important about manga, is that it doesn't have to always wrap up nicely. It doesn't have to have these concrete storylines.
Sure.
Sometimes it can just be about the vibe that you get.
But you can say the same thing about anime.
Oh, yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah, but I mean...
So how come it doesn't work in anime?
What do you mean? I didn't say it didn't work in anime.
No, I mean, like, what I mean is, like, when you said manga doesn't have to do this, sometimes it's about the vibe.
No, but I think it's more apparent in manga, because manga doesn't often end.
You also said that, it doesn't need a good story, it doesn't need good art, good characters, where the art, like... You could argue that, hey, that is some people's vibes. Some people need good story, some people need X, some people need Y. vibes to me are more of just kind of like it's a feeling, you know. It's more
Yeah,
just like
no,
a
that's what I'm-
feeling.
It's an emotional reaction,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And in terms of at least these top 6, although the emotional reactions may be different, the vibes, quote unquote, may be
To me,
different, they were still very potent.
To me, vibes is attributed to atmosphere. To me, it's not so much about the writing or the characters. It's the atmosphere and the feeling that a story emanates. The energy. It's the energy.
Oh, and
That's-
Vagabond
Yeah.
emanates the most flawless of atmospheres. Like,
Yes.
I have not read a manga that has more of a perfect atmosphere than Vagabond.
I love the way you just said immaculate vibes in a different way unintentionally.
Immaculate vibes.
It just has the most flawless atmosphere. Like, let me just say that. Let me just coin this term right now.
I'm not going to say immaculate vibes, it's flawless atmosphere.
It is flawless atmosphere.
All right, anyway,
Yes.
moving on.
Moving
Read
on.
Vagabond, it's amazing.